Jarvis, drop my needle.
Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and if you are interested in listening to idiots, you came to the right place. Have a nice day.
Woo! That's an attention getter.
He's a very strange young man.
He's an idiot.
What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
Oh my God, he's an idiot.
You know, of course, that you're out of your jurisdiction.
Personally, I think you're an idiot.
But that's the evidence in the car.
But I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
Always like to keep my audience riveted.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, friends and fiends, and welcome to Free Range Idiocy, the podcast about everything, but mostly just the stuff we like. Super Bowl 60 is now officially in the books, leaving two fandoms in great rapture. First, that of the Seattle Seahawks, who have their second Lombardi Trophy and may have just washed the bad taste of Pete Carroll throwing the ball instead of handing off to Marshawn Lynch all those years ago. And second, baseball fans, who can now forget all about this rigidly timed pigskin nonsense and get down to debating which utility infielder from their farm system will be the key to their inevitable World Series victory some many months down the road. However, we're not quite ready to say goodbye to football, so we'll give you our expert analysis of the big game in this episode 235, Patriots Pounded. I am your Uncle Todd, and with me, as always, the man who once endorsed Hugh Millen as the Patriots franchise quarterback of the future. He has been my partner in idiocy for over 2 decades and is deliriously optimistic now as he was then. I give you the man they call Tim.
I'd like to be introduced as the multi-time fantasy football champion.
Listen, I can't deal with this bullshit. Listen, it's not in my contract.
I'm just saying, we're talking football, and I am an expert at it, having won multiple championships.
Yep, and I know that you love waving your participation trophy around, and it's very cute. It's very amusing, but at the same time, there is a point when you do have to grow up.
I don't think there is.
I as someone who has had to a little bit, there is. All right,
a little bit.
A very
just a
little
smidge.
Let's face it, I haven't at all. I've regressed, if anything else. But we did witness Super Bowl 60 emanating from somewhere vaguely close to San Francisco. Where was it? Santa Clara.
Yeah, Santa Clara. Thank you.
Yeah. In the very oddly shaped Levi's Stadium, there is a whole friggin' I forget who had the video on that, but why Levi's Stadium is totally asymmetrical. It is kind of ludicrous that this happens in the 21st century when building a stadium, but it did. And also, I guess there's serious issues with like the way the sun comes down. Like, anyways, they're flawed stadium, but because they're in a sunshine state, they'll get Super Bowls.
Of course.
And we had various festivities and things going on. Where do you want to start talking about this, sir? Because I'm open as long as we're talking about anything but the game. I also noticed you're not wearing your Patriots sweatshirt this episode, as you have been the past couple of weeks.
I am not. No, I forgot to. I thought I had it down here. It's not here, so I'm
I know.
wearing my CM Punk shirt. But I got my belt with me. By the way, for those counting, if you want to count first place finishes, 8-time champion. I just want to say that in fantasy football. I do have other trophies. Do have the silver, do have the bronze, but if you want to just count the gold, 8 times over.
Yep, and he won the sack race back in 4th grade. Throw that one in there as well. I mean,
as
long as we're talking shit, just go hog wild. I won a spelling bee when I was 5.
When we record, when you're here, are you going to have a camera, or are you going to? Is it just a pure record?
I've got. So here's the thing.
Oh, you have your laptop you're bringing, right? No.
So I got these little babies here that I bought, and I wasn't able to get these suckers I wasn't able to get one to work tonight, but I am going to work dutifully on that, and I think this will be good enough. I'm going to hook us both up with wireless mics. So we're not tethered to this. We won't need the headphones because we're in the same room. I think we might just have one wide shot for the two of us.
Okay. Well, sir, I will, for at least an evening after this event, because you procured us such great seats, allow you to hold the real fantasy football championship right here, baby.
I'm telling you, you raise your voice again like that and blast out my eardrums, I'm going to hit you with that belt like heel John Cena.
Does that involve a nad kick to start with? Or?
It won't be a work. That's going to be a shoot.
Well, there's only one way to start this off, ladies and gentlemen. Well, here we go. So,
okay, we settled that.
But yeah, no. When this whole thing started, when we had the pregame,
how much of the pregame did you watch? Because there's like 12 hours of it now, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. So we spent much of Saturday kind of getting our house cleaned up because we were having guests over, family and friends over, and so I don't know why I said
just
friend.
One friend.
That was a slip of the tongue.
We got one, and that's enough.
That's all I have time for. No, we had some friends over, some family, and so getting the place picked up. Saturday and Sunday, my wife was cooking up a storm. I was doing all the housework. She was doing all the cooking, and just we had like appetizery foods and stuff like that. So she was just getting different things prepared. And so like it was kind of around 4-ish where I plopped down and started to watch the pregame. So about an hour and a half before kickoff, 4 o'clock Chicago time.
I think I got like an hour myself. I think I had it on like the background for like an hour because I was making pizza and stuff like that.
And after watching about 20 minutes of it, which goes into the life story of all the different players and that, and the other, I just went downstairs. I threw on Star Wars: The Old Republic because I had some business to tend to in that game, and that's what I was doing at least until our guests arrived.
It was a 12-year-old I had to whoop up on.
Well,
he's in Omaha and he's been talking a lot of trash lately.
Now look, you can give me some credits, or I'm going to whoop your ass. So. I am a smuggler in the game, so
Jabba's a jobber 83. It just had it coming.
What did you say, Jabba the Jobber?
Yes.
That is a phenomenal name. Well, now we know what your name is going to be in Star Wars: The Old Republic when you start playing.
We'll see.
All we got to do is let Jimmy Dice know, and he'll jump in for a round. He's good for a round.
I think I wandered into the living room when Green Day came on. That was kind of because I was in the middle of rolling out pizza dough and making toppings and things like that.
Oh yeah, so what'd y'all make? Because the main event for our appetizer spread was my wife made buffalo wing sliders. Or buffalo chicken sliders. Sorry. Ooh. So it was. She cooked up the chicken. She put it in this buffalo wing mix, and then mixed the meat in with it, and then just kind of made the sliders, cooked them in the oven so the rolls were nice and crisped up, and oh my god, so good. And then we had chips and dip and stuff. But what was your main event?
Main event for us was pizza. So I get the dough ball, gluten-free dough ball, and roll that out and kind of because sometimes in this day one of them just would not work with me, and it was kind of frustrating. So Kaylin is very much a cheese pizza kind of gal, so I make one cheese, and then I did one, oddly enough, buffalo chicken pizza.
Nice,
which was really good. So just a crust with the chicken tossed in a. Sometimes I do a wing sauce, which is different than just doing the Franks right out of the bottle. You get the butter and the garlic and all that stuff in it. And I was lazy. I didn't feel like making the wing sauce, so I just tossed it in Franks, and then I drizzled Franks on the. So first I started with a base of blue cheese on the crust, then to put the chicken on, then did a drizzle of additional Franks. And then cover that with mostly mozzarella, but then I sprinkled a little bit of cheddar in with it as well, sharp cheddar, and then kind of the same cheese mixture for the cheese pizza. And had those. Really didn't have a lot of other snacks because that was kind of like the main deal for us.
See, we tend to go overboard. So
yeah, well,
we had a lot of stuff, a lot of leftovers.
It was only the three of us, and I mean, we had other options. It just turned out like that was kind of what we did. What did we do for lunch? I did like I do this like sausage egg bake kind of thing. It's not really a quiche. It's kind of like a quiche without a crust. I did that and some roasted potatoes for breakfast, and we had breakfast like wicked late. It was more of a brunch. It was like 11 a.m. So by the time that, game time was rolling around, it was like, okay, this is the second meal of the day. And, so it was mostly just the pizza. And then Kaylin and my wife had made me a birthday cake. So it was a chocolate cake with peanut butter frosting.
Ooh.
So I ate way too much pizza and way too much cake, and then I decided to go back and have one more slice of pizza, which was dumb. I was in pain, later that night. It was terrible.
I love how the rules,
but also sort of worth it,
of dining decor go out the window when this game comes on. When the Super Bowl comes on, your brain turns off any sort of governor when it comes to, okay, you've had enough. Don't, stay within what you should. No, it just goes. I had like 4 sliders. Mm-hmm. I had one of our friends brought meatballs in a crock pot, which were amazing. We had queso and, like some of the stuff I shouldn't even be eating because it's not on my diet, but queso and tortilla chips. We had a little bit of charcuterie going on. We had chips and a dip that is, diet friendly for me, but of course the chips are not. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And then we had desserts up the wazoo. Oh my God. Just amazing desserts, oatmeal cookie, M&M cookies, those pretzel kiss M&M things I tell you about that we have at the holidays. My wife made some of those. These big, thick chocolate brownies were amazing. Oh my God. It was just, and I just ate it all.
Yeah.
And I didn't, and I
moderation. What's that?
And I paid the next morning when I weighed myself. I'm like, damn you.
I didn't even need to weigh myself, dude. I was in literal pain. Like after we finished the game, and of course, Kaylin was heading back to school, and she was nice enough to like stay Sunday night. So she left like first thing in the morning on Monday. Which when I say first thing in the morning, that's 5:40 a.m. on the train, back to school. But of course, she's 18, so she only needs but like 15 minutes of sleep per night, and she's fine. And so I'm literally laying on the bed. Her and my wife are up by the head of the bed. I'm laying like across the foot of the bed, just laying there, just burping, just bleh, bleh. And I'm like, I'd already taken some gas stuff because, again, not to let people in on too much, I did my colonoscopy not that long ago. And of course, with all the prep stuff that you have to buy, when you get like the laxatives and the gas pills and all that, like they don't sell you just enough. No, you got to buy the whole box. Even though you need like 3 gas pills, you get like 18. Well, I was like, well, son of a bitch, that's actually going to come in handy. I did double check to make sure, like, okay, I'm taking the gas, not the laxative, right? I popped one of those bad boys, but I'm still just laying there like, and then all of a sudden the other end would hit. It's like, I'm like, oh, and they're just like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I was a very stupid man. I was very stupid.
Oh, you were performing a concert late at night.
But this is like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, and I'm just doing the calculations. Like I've got the alarm set for 4:55 a.m. Like it's not that long. Like,
yeah,
I got to go to bed, but my gut, I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep. Thankfully I did, but oh my gosh, yeah, I paid for it. I didn't even need to weigh myself. I'm like, I'm very dumb. I'm very, very, very dumb. I've just this evening kind of come out of it at this point, like, because again, you get older and it takes you longer to bounce back from this stuff. Oh, rough.
I had coworkers who were, they said, well, I was thinking of you last night as the Patriots were losing, figured you were having a couple bourbons. I'm like, I actually didn't drink anything because here's the thing. I knew I was going in the office the next morning. I did not want to go in hungover because my God, do I get nothing done when I'm feeling like that? I just cannot think. And a lot of my job is thinking, and I'm just like, oh, good Lord.
Yeah,
So yes.
I had a bit too much bourbon the night before, so I did not drink during the Super Bowl either.
As did I. You and I were kind of strangely in sync when it came to the bourbon consumption and the overdoing it. So
not sure who that's scarier for, you or me. Both, actually.
It's scary in and of itself.
But
so
the bit of the pregame I did catch, the Green Day portion was good. I don't know how you felt. Were you kind of a Green Day fan back in the day? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. I mean, I never saw them live, and it's not like I religiously bought their CDs, but I liked, the music they released on the radio, and got into them as a band. Enjoyed their style of music. So yeah, it was great to see them play. Our guests were kind of arriving right around the time they were performing, so it was kind of hard to focus on what they were doing because we were kind of welcoming folks. I was running coats up to our room, to store them and that sort of thing. And so it was just a little bit of chaos going on. So I really didn't take it in. But how was their performance?
I thought it was good. The first thing that struck me was like I never would have thought back in 1994 when they released their first full-length album called Dookie that we would still be thinking of Green Day as relevant 32 years later.
Yes.
That is baffling to me. Utterly baffling. And the fact that they are still very relevant in a way and have kind of, because of the fact that they've survived that long as a band, they have this bit of gravitas, which I'm like, no way would I have taken this bet.
Yeah.
I thought it was a solid performance overall. At the heart they're a trio, but they had they had 2 extra guitar players, or I think 2 guitar players and a keyboard player.
Oh,
which
really?
I didn't really hear the keyboard player that much. I thought it was solid overall. I did love at the very end when they had all the former players, NFL players, come walk out onto stage. Just the overall awkwardness of them all being out there was great. I was like, this is so, they're all just like, this is so friggin' weird.
Yeah.
That we're out here. Like, why are we out here?
Was Brady and Manning out there?
Yes. Yeah. Both of the Mannings. As I put it to my daughter when she's like, who are they? I'm like, those are some of the greatest football players ever, and Eli Manning. I'm not letting those 2 Super Bowls go. I am not.
Nope.
It's great that Eli is a Hall of Famer, and but he wouldn't have been without those 2 Super Bowls, and he better be sending Christmas cards to his defense from those years, and the referee who basically did not call him in the grasp, because those should not have happened if those 2 things didn't happen. So, I did appreciate the fact that we got a Green Day F-bomb was dropped and appropriately bleeped out, and the drummer's reaction to the F-bomb was pretty fun. They did not change, or they did not get to the point of American Idiot where they have changed the lyrics to be somewhat adversarial to politics as we now know it. I believe that was probably a trade-off. Like, okay, we're just not going to do that part of the song. We'll let you drop an F-bomb, but we're not going to do that part of the song. Okay, can we compromise here? But overall, I thought it was fun. It was a good way to kick things off. I mean, they're from the Bay Area, so it fits. And it actually seemed like they might have been playing live. So I'm also kind of happy about that, because we don't always get that in performances these days. That's what I think about that.
That's what you think about that. Yeah, I don't really have too much more about pregame, just because, like I said, I watched a little bit of it when it was more about, them pontificating about the offense and defense and all this and that. And the history of Drake May and, his fan. I mean, the stuff is interesting if you're into that. I don't know, my head was elsewhere. So I just, like I said, I kind of detached for a little bit, but when our guests arrived, I was kind of in hosting mode. So I wasn't maybe as focused on some of those things, but no, overall, it was good to see the teams come out. I loved the fact the Patriots came out to Crazy Train. I believe it was Crazy Train. Was it Crazy Train?
Yeah, that's kind of been their entrance music for a while now, I think. Going back a little bit to the pregame, I got to say, I still consider, and I probably always will consider, Ray Charles' version of America the Beautiful to be the gold standard performance of that song.
Yep.
Mostly because he actually performs it. Everyone else goes right to the second verse. Oh beautiful. That's not the opening verse. Ray Charles actually does the verse 1, verse 2, and in great Ray Charles in his great Ray Charles way, he goes to the first verse, which basically nobody knows because it's not really ever performed, and then he, in between, as they're bridging into the next verse, he's like, back in school we used to sing it like this. Oh, beautiful. I'm like, oh my, fracking perfect. Just
yep.
We're done. That's it.
Yep.
This is it. Just play this. Just roll tape on this, and we don't have to do this any other time.
Yep.
That being said, I kind of dug Brandi Carlile's take. Like, it was different.
Oh, she's great. I love her.
It was very unique to her.
Yep.
And I felt like it was still kind of close enough to the standard version of the song that it's like it didn't feel like it was deviating too much. Coco Jones, Lift Every Voice and Sing was great, or it was very nice. But I did really enjoy her wardrobe tribute to Whitney Houston's iconic tracksuit from when she performed the national anthem at the 1991 Super Bowl, which I did not catch at all until afterwards, and I saw that pointed out online, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's a kind of a nice little undercover kind of tip of the hat to like the gold standard of national anthems performances, forever. Then we get to, the national anthem, and Charlie Puth, however you pronounce his name, very meh in my opinion. Very milquetoast kind of. Okay, here's my 2 cents on singing the national anthem. 90, your two options are sing it strong and straight ahead, or try and put your own spin on it. And the fact is, like, if you just sing it strong and straight ahead and don't dilly-dally and don't try and like add in a whole bunch of vocal gymnastics, it is from a vocal standpoint, it is a difficult enough song to sing that it stands on its own in terms of like showing off your vocal. Like it's not an easy song to sing, especially if you started off in the wrong spot for your range. You are cooked, and you'll know you're cooked very quickly. And then you're like, how am I just going to not embarrass myself? You are. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
As far as like doing your own take, just don't. Because unless you're like Marvin Gaye and you have like the cachet and the sheer huevos to do something completely different, don't do it. And you're not Marvin Gaye, so just don't do it. Just sing the song. And he tried to kind of do this like take on it, and I'm like, it just felt like easy listening, smooth jazz. I'm like, okay, like, yeah, you got a good voice. Good for you. This is so like lame. It just felt very lame. My wife liked it. I just was like, this is kind of meh. Just, I would have rather you just sung the song straight ahead, and we could have gotten into the flyover and everything else. And flyover was pretty cool. Like, it's not very often you see a B-1B bomber or two for a flyover. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, a little disappointed on the national anthem. But anyways, you were getting into the meat of the matter here.
Yes. So now that we're through the fluff that is the pregame, let's get into the first half. Man, this was a defensive face-off of epic proportions. Both teams bringing their and shouldn't be surprising. The Patriots, quite honestly, rode their defense all the way to the Super Bowl. They held it together through 3 ridiculous inclement weather games that they came out on top with. And coming out of the gate, the defense was on point. I mean, even though the Seahawks nailed 3 field goals in the first half, one of our friends, kids who had come, who's an adult, observed correctly. They were just kind of like, man, I don't think I've ever seen a game where there's so many batted down passes like this. Like the Patriots were. Their cornerbacks and D-backs, they were where they needed to be, and they knocked down a crap ton of passes that could have turned into touchdowns, could have turned into big yardage situations. I was shocked by the lack of, I shouldn't say shocked, like there was no obvious pass interference going on that I could see. I mean, they literally were just in position and just batted the ball down. I mean, there wasn't, they weren't wrestling with the wide receiver. They just were in position and could block the ball from even falling into the receiver's hands. And so, they were just incredible. And they shut the run down for the most part because they hadn't turned it over to Kenneth Walker yet, who just apparently became Tank Man.
Oh my gosh.
He was ridiculous. But I mean, so that's the Patriots side. I mean, the Seahawks did their job. I mean, they were flummoxing Drake May and I couldn't tell if the Patriots were just running the same kind of conservative playbook they were running against Denver. It just felt like they were playing to not turn the ball over, not to necessarily score, but they weren't coming out on the better end of it because the Seahawks were able to get, field goal after field goal after field goal, and they just weren't getting anything. And so you're not going to win a game that way. So, but what about your thoughts on the first two quarters and kind of the defensive standoff that we saw?
I don't find myself agreeing with Chris Collinsworth all that much, but I did agree with him where he was kind of flummoxed with the fact that they were playing not to screw up, like you were saying, and just very content to kind of let their defense win the game. And as much as I can kind of appreciate that theory, it's a hell of a time to do that in the Super Bowl unless you have like an all-time great defense. And as good as the Patriots played defense this year, and I only know it by statistics and what was shown and how good they were in the playoffs, there's very few defenses that you can count on to win you a Super Bowl, especially when you're playing against like another team. You're not playing against, some wild card team that managed to sneak their way into the Super Bowl. You're playing against legit the best team in the other conference, bar none. And that's not going to cut it, especially not when they've got a defense that is damn near as good as yours, if not better. You have to get to a point where you're allowing your quarterback to make plays. Now, that being said, I would not have wanted to been Drake May on Sunday because, just watching, what's the left tackle's name? Was it Campbell?
Yes. Yep.
Just watching him get pushed around, like getting pushed right into Drake May. And I understand that he had an MCL sprain or something like that and whatever, and he came back way too soon and all that. Holy hell, dude. The number of sacks in the first half plus the pressures, I'm like, it was about half of the time that he was dropping back to pass. And that's going to affect a second-year quarterback. That you've got two rookies starting, and the statistic of like there's never been two rookies starting next to each other on an offensive line in a Super Bowl. There's a good reason for that.
Yeah.
That is not usually an ideal situation that will get you to a Super Bowl. And here we saw it's a reason why you don't win Super Bowls that way. And I granted, Campbell was not at his best, but son of a bitch, it looked like someone had just taken a JV kid out there and threw him at the varsity. Like whoever the Seahawks, rusher who was going on him, like just threw him around like a rag doll. And he did not slow guys an awful lot down to on his way to Drake May.
Yeah.
That is going to affect somebody, especially when it's like you can't see them coming.
Yeah.
They're coming on that side because this guy over here is essentially almost a doorman where he's going.
Yep.
It's coming. That's in your head. I don't care how good of a quarterback you are. And unfortunately, May also picked not a great day to be inaccurate. He missed a couple of throws that would have really helped.
Yeah.
Back shouldering Hunter Henry, and not only back shouldering him, but like going about a yard and a half past his back shoulder. That didn't help. I forget if it was in the first or the second half, but that time when I think it was Hunter Henry again was about as open as you get in the NFL. Like he had the coverage was blown and he was off on the left side basically on the numbers, and there was no one between him and the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
And May overthrew him so badly.
Yeah.
It's like those are not throws you can miss
in
a game like this. But then his receivers also did not help him, because there was a couple of times that just there was a ball on somebody's hands and nobody came up with it. Mm-hmm. And granted, some of them are not the easiest catches to make, but it's like, dude, this is the NFL. You have to come up with at least a couple of those.
Right.
Not every throw is going to be ideal and hit you in the numbers. If you're going to be if you're going to be an excellent wide receiver, or even a good wide receiver in the NFL, you have to at least make one or two of those happen.
Yep.
In a game like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, and the fact is, like, I got to admit, like, even though I was like, oh, hey, it's cool the Patriots are playing, I watched the Broncos game. I did not feel great about this game.
Mm-hmm.
Just with the way that May had played, and I understood it was a bad weather game and all that. I was like, I don't know if this is a team that can really win a Super Bowl. Mostly because I don't think that May was ready.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in saying that. Like, your second year in the league, you're probably not ready to win a Super Bowl. You're probably not ready to do that. You know, I don't know chapter and verse this guy's college career, but I don't believe he won a national championship.
Right.
So, like, what preparation did you have for this? So, yeah, I mean, when they finished the first half and they were within striking distance, I was like, okay, well, anything can happen in the second half. But it wasn't like, oh, yeah, they're definitely coming back. I was like, they better figure something out really quick. And when they didn't, I'm like, yeah, they're kind of cooked.
I'm kind of confused why they didn't try running like the no-huddle offenses to throw Seattle's defense off. You know what I mean? Like,
I think part of it is because they were worried about Campbell. I think they were worried about blocking. Because they just could not block. And the other part of this too is, like, and it started in the first half, and it happened in the first half and the second half. Here's another thing. The defense, as well as they played, they had 4, maybe a half dozen times where they had a guy running in unblocked on Darnold and couldn't wrap that son of a bitch up. And I'm like, you've got to get, this is the game that you have to get at least an arm on him. And it was like, Sam Darnold did not appear to me to be the Michael Vick or Randall Cunningham of the 2020s.
Yeah.
Maybe he can move around a little bit, but son of a bitch, you should be able to tackle him. He didn't move a whole lot. Yep. And you've got a guy running scot-free and just seemingly ran by him. Yep. I'm like, you've got to get a couple of these. At least bump into him, something. And they just didn't.
Yeah.
And that was I saw enough of those where I'm like, I don't think this is happening. There's enough things here that they are missing that is heading in the wrong direction. And the other thing is, like, they were getting turnovers, you know, all playoffs and throughout the year. It's like they weren't getting one. I'm like, this is not good. Like, you can't win defensively if you're not at least getting a turnover.
Right.
So
they had opportunities, but I mean, I wouldn't say they blew opportunities. I mean, they had a couple times where they could have snagged something, but it was a very difficult angle, you know, for them to get. Like, it wasn't like there were any gimmies that it was like, oh God, if you had just gotten that. It was rare that there was a turnover opportunity that they could have easily capitalized on that they dropped or something like that.
Yeah, there was a couple times where the ball got batted up, and if it had hung in the air another, you know, couple milliseconds, somebody could have gotten a hand on it, you know, but that isn't something you can count on, you know. I think that I would say the one thing that I think that they should have gone to a more spread offense and at least tried that a little earlier in the game. But then again, does that work? And you know, unless you're getting farther behind and they're playing deeper and all that, I don't know. I will say I appreciated how aggressive the Patriots were beginning of the game. That really did seem to throw off the Seahawks. Like, they were just selling out for blitzes and going after the quarterback. And I did appreciate that, but after a while, if you can't freaking get the ball in the end zone, it doesn't matter at that point, because eventually the other team is going to figure a way to eke out a couple of drives. And if you can't get the ball in the end zone, as long as you're scoring something, you're cooked, man.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to see for them to have thrown the ball around a little bit more, but then again, I don't know that they really have anyone who's that far above average as a receiver, which has been
Buddy.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's not like he's lightning fast. And there was a couple times I felt like he probably should have had a catch or two that was in his area that he didn't have. It makes me question, like, again, like this has been the Achilles heel for the Patriots going back now 3 coaches. Can't draft a damn wide receiver. And every year there's a couple of receivers that turn into all pros and they ain't playing on New England's squad. So those are misses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember was first half where Seattle had that crazy sack where the defensive lineman had pushed the offensive lineman back?
Oh,
maybe
was still
that was
being blocked
Campbell
and made the friggin'
and then he grabbed May's jersey and brought them both down because May couldn't get. I mean, that was like ridiculous.
That was definitely Campbell.
That was Campbell.
I want to say that was the first half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was one of those signs like, oh, this is not going to go the way anyone's hoping. Like, oh my gosh. Like that guy he probably should have gotten credit for 2 sacks. Like you sacked the tackle and the quarterback. All right. That's a bonus.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, it was rough.
First half was at least competitive.
Yeah.
And you felt like the Patriots still had a chance. And then we had halftime.
Yes.
So let's
at halftime, since we haven't talked about it yet, and any commercials that stood out to you, because I honestly feel like this year was very tame for commercials.
Honestly, the 2 that were my favorites were the Manscaped commercial with the talking hairballs.
Oh, I missed that.
It was very early in the game, and my wife was very disturbed by it, and I'm like, I was like, it is disturbing, but it's also memorable and it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And the Goodwill Duncan commercial.
Oh, that was phenomenal.
Was great. I mean, we had Alfonso Ribeiro, we had Urkel, Ben Affleck,
White,
of course.
Is that his name?
Yes. We had Costanza.
Yep.
Jennifer Aniston.
Was that
Tom
really
Brady.
all of them, or was that like AI rendered younger versions of them? Because there was something about it.
Aged, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
totally.
Okay.
But I'm guessing. I mean,
Matt LeBlanc, Joey.
Yep. So that was good. I was so just over the AI commercials. Like you're much more in the tech industry than I am, but it looks to me like we are heading for a cliff with AI because so many companies have invested so many billions in this, and now they're trying to figure out like how to justify it all.
Mm-hmm.
And they're having a real hard time doing it because I think most people are turning off any AI features that people are trying to like force into their lives.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, no, I don't want this. I don't want that AI. I don't need AI when I'm using like Jiffy Lube or whatever. Like it's like, I don't need this. I don't want this. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And eventually like this money is going to be shown to be just invested in bullshit. But yeah, then you have like people trying to be like, no, we're the nice AI. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're all scumbags. Just go away.
I just love the I forget what they were saying about it. It was something like claim your name or something like that, AI.com. And at the end, it's like AI.com/Sam/blah. And then the very last name is /Elon. And I'm like, and now you just lost everyone.
Not only like claim your name, but it's like AI.com/ it's like you're not claiming anything like that. You're claiming a subdirectory on their website. Like,
yeah.
In a way, I'm like, I can appreciate the scam. Like, okay, if you're dumb enough to pay for that, go right ahead. Yeah, all those were just terrible. There's a lot of lame stuff. The one that really kind of was inexplicable to me is the Mando and Grogu trailer being so I get you're trying to go for a Budweiser Clydesdale thing. I get it. But I'm watching this going, is this movie a parody movie that we don't know about? Like, what is this movie? Like, first of all, we have barely any marketing for it at all. And now this is like, because we had a teaser, right? And then this is the second thing we've gotten for it. And this movie's coming out this summer. Yes. And I feel like this is all we've gotten. I'm like, I'm starting to get a little concerned about this now.
Fear not, my brother.
Okay.
They will deliver. That's all I got.
But My Time to Shine, Hello, told you this?
Well, maybe, yes.
Or is this Danny Rickman?
I think it was My Time to Shine, Hello.
Okay,
so.
well, at least I'll get behind that. If it's Danny Rickman, F him. But
good Lord.
But I that was very much kind of like, eh. And other than that, I don't really remember a whole lot of commercials. I just remember AI pissing me off. Like after a while, I'm like, I'm so sick of the AI commercials. Like, is this what our life is? Like, hey, guess what? We're turning our world into a technical dystopia, but we'll make it slightly better. Like, hey, we're not going to have drinking water, but at least you can ask, Chat GPT how to, write your term paper while you're dying.
This is the time to hit the Flynn. Yeah.
Can't even be bothered.
Ah, good Lord.
Just so distraught. What did you enjoy for commercials, sir? Anything?
I mean, you hit. I think you hit them all. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we haven't talked about. Yeah, I thought the Mando Grogu one was good because I like the play on the Budweiser, commercial and having two tauntauns kind of pulling the cart. I thought was really funny. So I thought that was good. What else? Yeah, the Dunkin' commercial was great. What was there was another one. Gosh, it's escaping me. Let me just do a quick look up.
You do that. You look it up.
Well, it's the only way I'm going to remember it, unfortunately. Let's see. What was another one? Oh, I did find the ad for Alexa. You won't like it because it's an AI ad, but it was for Alexa Plus or whatever. But it was Chris Hemsworth envisioning like all the ways that AI was going to destroy him, which I thought was really funny.
That one was actually amusing.
That was good.
We'll give you that one, but
that was good.
Still another friggin' AI is going to make your life. You know what? I'll tell you what, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again just for the ones in the cheap seats. I don't want AI in every other aspect of my life. I'll tell you what, let's have AI run stoplights for the next 5 years and have AI manage traffic in real time. And if AI can manage that, okay, maybe we'll let you do something else. But in the meantime, I don't want AI writing songs and designing artwork and all this other bullshit. Like, do the menial stuff that human beings don't want to do. Isn't that what AI is supposed to be doing?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be nice? Especially if it's going to be gobbling up all the water and the resources and stressing our electrical grid, which sucks to begin with. Wouldn't it be nice to at least have it doing something functional so that I can get from point A to point B without having to stop at every red light, even though it's friggin' 10 o'clock at night and there's no one else on the road? Wouldn't that be nice?
Okay, can I interrupt your rant to talk about some more of my commercials now that I finally found them?
Go right ahead. Sorry.
I like the one I really enjoyed was the William Shatner Raisin Bran fiber promoting commercial where he talks about Will Shat. I don't know if you missed
that.
Dude, oh, you missed that one?
Yeah.
Oh, that was phenomenal. Everyone's like, Will Shat. And yeah, it was all about Raisin Bran and fiber, and it was great. We had God, what the hell is his name? Guy Fieri doing the Bosch commercial where he essentially shaved his beard and went all normal.
All right. Yeah.
That was kind of crazy to see. What was the other one? We talked about Duncan. Oh, the Jurassic Park take with
the
Xfinity.
Happy ending.
The happy that was amazing. I love that one.
That was all right. Yeah, that was okay.
Oh, come on. That was good. Admit it. Just
like I said,
admit it.
It was all right. I mean, again, it's we're using AI to like gussy up everybody to de-age them. So still, well, meh.
That funny bananas commercial that was what the hell is his name? Not Ben Affleck. Where is his name? Oh crap!
Funny bananas.
So there was a commercial about bananas, and it was two guys like performing in like a cheesy '80s video. And I'm trying to think of the actor's name. It's escaping
Ben Stiller.
Me. Ben Stiller. Thank you. I kept wanting to say Ben Affleck, and I knew that was wrong. And Ben Stiller was like throwing himself off of stuff to like outdo his partner.
What
and it
was that? That was
I don't
bananas?
know. I guess bananas just how you like. Instacart.
Oh yes, that was weird. Like, I get kind of what you're going for, but what was the one? The dumbest one I thought was the karaoke one, and I believe it was for another AI thing, but
What was
like it was literally karaoke.
Oh, that one was weird because it looked like it looked like a karaoke thing on your TV, and you're waiting for it to end, and it just keeps going and going.
I can't remember what it was for. I thought it was for an AI company or something.
Yeah,
some tech company, and I'm like, wow, that's a really expensive. Like, hey, we're really cool. We're inside joking. Like,
yeah,
you spent an awful lot of money on that, and it was like a fart in church.
Yeah, I missed. Apparently, there was an Uber Eats one with they were building up to it with Matthew McConaughey and harassing Bradley Cooper,
which I couldn't stand those to start with. So
okay. Oh, State Farm one with Danny McBride and Keegan-Michael Key was absolutely hysterical when they were doing "Living on a Prayer." That was just too funny.
Well, that actually ties into why John Bon Jovi is bringing out the Patriots, I guess, because maybe there's a State Farm tie-in where it's like, okay, well, if you're in the commercials, we'll let you, also bring out one of the teams at the game. Because I was literally John Bon Jovi, introducing the Patriots. I'm like, Steven Tyler wasn't available, Dennis Leary, like, I mean, literally anyone, like the guy who's working the afternoon shift at the frickin' Cambridge Dunks couldn't make it. Like anyone at all.
Yeah,
we got the Jersey guy. How the hell does this work? Like, I know he's tight with Belichick, but that doesn't mean that like he should be introing the team. Like not even New England region. Like New Jersey is distinctly not New England. Anyways.
You're very fervent in that distinguish.
It rankled me. It rankled
in
me,
distinguishing those two things. So
well, it's geography, dude. It's like it's not that difficult.
I know, but I don't know. It seemed to have pressed the button for you there, sir. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, hey.
All right. Well, anyways, that's enough for commercials. Halftime itself. What do you think of the halftime show? Bad Bunny coming out and laying a little bit of the Puerto Rican culture on us, and yet doing it in kind of a unified sort of way. I like that.
My favorite part of halftime is how much it got under the skin of fragile, fevered egos. And as an agent of chaos, that was my favorite part of halftime, is knowing how many people were grinding their teeth. I giggled uncontrollably through all of halftime, just knowing how many people, like, their sphincter was like at like so tight it was almost at the point of rupturing. I love that because all of a sudden over the past couple of weeks, the friggin' NFL Super Bowl halftime show has become like this the friggin' bellwether of pop culture, and I'm like I just remember back to like the halftime shows of when I was growing up, when it's like Up with People, was the halftime show. I'm like, wow, what a first world problem that we have these days. So the fact that it pissed so many people off, I just got a good chuckle out of. In terms of like photography, cinematography, storytelling, sets, choreography, pure joy, 11 out of 10, no notes. Like that was an incredible feat just in terms of like logistics.
Yeah.
Of pulling that all together and managing to do that all. I was just blown away at all of it. I was as they're going through the first couple minutes, I'm like, because I know at the very beginning, wasn't there's a little bit of pre-tape.
Yes.
Because we were over a real field, and then we're not over a real field. We're over the football field. And then there was that one bit in the middle where he falls into the house, where that was definitely pre-tape. Yeah. But as they're going through this, I'm like, are we still in the pre-tape? Because how did they set this up? They only have but like 10 minutes or so, like to set this up during commercial breaks and all. Like, how? This is a lot. Like, how did this happen? You know? And so, I mean, just that geek part of me that always wants the behind the scenes and the director's commentary and all that. I'm like, logistically, this is amazing.
Yeah.
That you've organized this and that you're shooting it in this way and that it's timed out and all that. I'm like, holy crap, this is amazing. I didn't understand a single word of it. However, I love the fact that apparently in the Spanish speaking interwebs, the joke was, white people were all upset because it wasn't in English and they couldn't understand it. But we couldn't either, because apparently, like, between the Puerto Rican accent and Bad Bunny's natural, like, lisp mumbling, people, like, even if you speak Spanish, it wasn't easy. I'm like, all right, cool. You know what? It did unite us all.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yes.
Like, hardly anyone knew what he was saying. So perfect.
Yes.
That being said, like, I'm not going to go out and buy a bunch of Bad Bunny, albums or anything like that. But dude, the people getting upset about, well, I don't understand anything. It's like, well, I'm used to that, because I've always, I think I've damaged my hearing, and I kind of can have a hard time hearing lyrics in the moment sometimes. So the last couple halftime shows, like, anytime you have someone who's rapping or singing really quickly, I'm like, I don't know what they're saying. It's cool though. But that's me. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool. Like, visually, it was stunning. Even though I did not understand the words, I felt like I was kind of getting the gist of the story. And even though, like, yeah, I can't say that I'm a Bad Bunny fan now, but I'm like, I kind of get why people like this dude and why they like his music and why he's sold so many albums. Yeah,
and he's a hell of a wrestler. Hell of a wrestler.
Oh, that too. What'd you think, sir?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've pretty much covered it. I enjoyed it. Going back to last year with Kendrick Lamar, I'm not familiar with his music, and it was, even that was, a little bit hard for me to follow. There was the one song that I had kind of read about, he goes after Drake about some unsavory things, but but I appreciated it, like I like to hear things that are like, I don't have to hear things that I know I like. I like to hear things that I haven't heard before and to try to understand it and take it in. And that's okay. I liked what Bad Bunny brought. I liked, to your point, the set, the cinematography of it, the layout of it, the fact that he was telling a visual story along with the music he was doing. It just felt like something very positive, and I think in our current state of being, I think we could use some hope and some positivity. And so I very much appreciated that. And I thought it was great. I hope the NFL continues to look beyond and embrace the diversity of our country and bring those sorts of artists to bear. So very much enjoyed it and thought it was a great halftime show. And that was pretty much it. Just, to me, it's entertainment. It's a show. And, I think, I think Bad Bunny hit it. I liken this a lot to when Bruno Mars did his halftime show. Like, he just brought his flair and his, who he is as an entertainer into it. And you just get, kind of captivated by it. And so, very good. Very good all around.
Yeah.
All right. But now we got to get into the second half.
Oh, wait, do we want to cover the other halftime shows?
I'm sorry, was there another halftime show? I recognize one halftime show. It's the one that takes place in the football stadium.
Yeah. There was another one. Well, actually, there was two others.
I mean, Shecky down the street was doing his own halftime show, but I leave him to that. I don't need to see that.
As HOA president, I would think you wouldn't want him out there.
Not part of the association, thankfully. So beyond my purview and my remit. So
there was the Puppy Bowl.
There was that, yes.
Which
I
will
grant you that. But the Puppy Bowl was going on before the game even started, apparently.
Oh, it was?
I think so.
Okay. I missed
my sister-in-law and brother-in-law and their
then there's no other halftime show, so whatever.
Son were watching it. We're watching parts of it during the game and stuff like that. So I think it was going on while the game was going on or something like that.
Okay. All right. Well, then we don't need to. Then we're good. We don't need to cover.
But yes, let's acknowledge the Puppy Bowl. But beyond that, nothing else going on.
So then we get into the second half, and this is where basically the wheels fell off.
Oh boy.
And actually, one more side note. The statistic that I saw was that Bad Bunny in his trek around the field covered approximately 114 yards and outrushed the entire Patriots team.
Oh, good Lord. We didn't need to hear that.
Someone posted that on Facebook today. I was like, dude, the corpse ain't even cold yet. Like, come on.
I know. Yeah.
It is funny, though.
It is. But yeah, second half, Patriots more of the same in the third quarter. But I think the Seahawks, did they score a touchdown in third quarter or that fourth quarter?
I want to say it was the fourth quarter because I think they went 3 quarters without a touchdown.
Yeah, the offense. Yeah, I think it was 12-0 because they kicked another field goal. Mm-hmm. Then they scored an offensive touchdown.
Oh wait, I got the box score here. Yeah, you're right. No touchdown until the fourth.
Yeah. So that's 19-0.
Mm-hmm.
And then somewhere between like 8 to 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, somewhere in there, I feel like either Drake May kind of woke up or found his confidence, or Josh McDaniel took the handcuffs off and they started getting more aggressive offensively.
Well, they started spreading the field.
Okay.
So if I remember right, they went to 4 wide receivers. They were still keeping a running back in the backfield, I think, to try and help block. But by spreading the field, it gave some more options. They really weren't trying to run anymore, because it was like 12-26 in the fourth quarter.
Look at you with the timestamp.
Well, I got a box score here. I mean, it's not that difficult. Drake May had a pass to Hollins for 35 yards. That got them touchdown.
Yep.
And yeah, and then it pretty much just fell apart after that again. After a little
then they get the ball back, right? I think Seattle goes 4 and out. They punt. Patriots get the ball back. They're pushing it down. Looks like May's in a rhythm. Because I remember I was telling, we were talking about, geez, he looks like he's in a rhythm, and then the commentators were saying he looks like he's in a rhythm, and then he throws the interception that gets run back for a defensive touchdown. So now we're at 26-7, I believe.
Well, no, there was a field goal after the Patriots touchdown to get it 22-7.
Oh,
because it was 19-7. A little bit of hope there. Then you have 22-7 with a field goal, and then after that, Patriots driving. That's when May got intercepted, and touchdown. And then we get a garbage touchdown at the very end to make it 29-13 to at least make it look somewhat respectable, even though it's not.
Yeah.
So 29-13.
And toward I think it was like the 6 or 7 minute mark potentially, they started doing the no huddle offense, and I know that Seattle was starting to play more of a prevent defense. They weren't really, putting it on them the way they were before. But nonetheless, part of me is just like, why didn't you start doing that's the thing I've never understood. And I feel like Vrabel's kind of carrying the same characteristic that Belichick had, which is like they play a certain way, they get far behind in a game, and then they start to figure out with, not a whole lot of time left to start taking chances and doing stuff, and magically things start to happen. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what if you had just tried to do that? Like think about it for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
In the first half, maybe second quarter, if they just start running a no-huddle offense so that Seattle has no time to replace defensive players, no time to adjust their scheme, they just have to line up and deal with whatever the Patriots are throwing at them.
Mm-hmm.
does that put them back on their heels? Are they really that dark side defense when they don't have time to prepare and they don't have time to get fresh people onto the field? Like, I'm just thinking, like, at least do something to put them on their back heel a little bit, even if it's just a short pass. Like, I can't tell you how many times when Collinsworth and what's his name are doing the replay. Who?
Mike
Tirico are doing the replay, and they're showing the spread of the field. Now, clearly May must have been rattled or overwhelmed or whatever, so he wasn't seeing things clearly. But, man, there were so many times, especially to the right, that you had Stevenson and then you had, like, Henry or one of the other wide receivers. He could have thrown a bullet to them, and they would have got. They were wide open. Defensive back was in range, but not enough range to get an interception. So I just think there were things they could have done. There were a couple plays I remember when May was not getting bull rushed by the defensive line. He's looking at his options. He has no options to throw to, especially after letting a few seconds go. But there's this huge gap where he could have run, and he didn't. Now, he did later on, like when they started, like that's the time when they started, in my parlance, take the handcuffs off of him. All of a sudden, he's starting to run these like long stretches of the field because no one's paying attention to him. Yeah. And I'm just like, why did you guys wait till like 8 minutes in the fourth quarter to start doing this stuff? It was just infuriating to me.
Well, I think the biggest reason is, one, the reason why you're not going no huddle is because you're dealing with those rookies on the left side of the line, one of whom is not at 100%. So yeah, you catch the Seahawks in a position where they can't sub guys out. The whole idea of a hurry up no huddle offense is that it favors the offense because you're just wearing down the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you've got your blind side tackle who is not 100%, you're wearing him down too.
Mm-hmm.
Which, that you're not winning that matchup. You're already not winning the matchup. Like in the first couple plays of the game, he was being pushed back into the quarterback.
Right.
You then don't give him time to recover in between plays. Like that isn't going to get better. And unless you're going to drop over a tight end over there, like again, you start getting into these situations. Like I can see why you don't do that earlier. You're just because you are in that mode of like, let's just see if we can keep this close, and then get going offensively so that this becomes less of a problem. But
it could be there's a rhyme or reason to it. I just, at a very high level and without being, any sort of football coach in any way, shape, or form, other than playing John Madden, it just feels to me like if you can create chaos on the field, if you can remove reaction time from a defense that is solid, and what I mean by that is, and who knows, they're a professional team. They probably go through these drills where they have maybe some schemes that they just set up for when it's a no huddle offense sort of situation. But I'm just thinking, if you just do something to take them out of their element, help them, create a situation where they can't make thoughtful decisions, it could create opportunity where opportunity isn't there. That first half was all about opportunity being taken from them.
Yeah.
That defense took options off the table for May so that he could not throw, and he could not, he didn't have the reaction time that he needed. Now, in those cases where they bull rushed him or they tried to blitz him and he got the ball off or whatever, they can't do a no huddle in those situations. But if they ran the ball and then called a no huddle right away, it doesn't give in my mind at least, it seems like it doesn't give the defense time to make a decision. Do we blitz or do we just do straight up coverage?
Mm-hmm.
Do we prepare for, looks like they're spreading 4 wide versus, 3 or 2, whatever formation the Patriots are doing. It forces the guys on the field to have to make a decision without the normal flow of the game when they stop and, kind of get the call and line up and do whatever. Mm-hmm. So that's all I'm thinking is just like, I just kind of wish, instead of playing it conservatively, because it feels like, to your point, it feels like they were trying to, again, lean on the defense to create opportunity there to score points, and it wasn't happening. To flip the script and And maybe you're right. Maybe this was just because they were just trying to mask their weaknesses and they realized they couldn't do that. But yet when I see in the fourth quarter what they were doing, I don't know. It just got me thinking. It's like, why didn't they do this earlier just to shake things up a little bit? Like if you see something isn't working and you're not making like at least if they were to move down the field and kick a field goal, at least they're moving the ball, but they weren't moving the ball at all. And so you've got to like create momentum somewhere. And it just feels like you could do it still safely if you like ran the ball and then just immediately got everyone lined up and then run another play. Maybe it's a run, maybe it's a play action where you do a short pass. Like I'm not saying like throw like a long bomb or something like that. It's just, it felt like there was room to do something a little more aggressive to just see if you can catch them, on their heels unprepared. But again, I could be wishful thinking this. I'm sure the defensive coordinators prepare their defenses for those situations so that they can line up and adapt and, be able to play the situation as they see it. I don't know. That's kind of my thought is I just would have if we could have a do-over, I would have liked to have maybe seen what could have happened if they had done that, but I could be wrong.
I think
one can dream.
I think that this was not the best thing that could have happened to the Patriots getting all the way to the Super Bowl this year.
All right.
They were a good team that feasted on a bad schedule because they had a piss poor record last year. They feasted on a bad schedule, and now you have expectations. They have high expectations, whether people are going to admit it or not. May is a second-year quarterback. You don't have a true. I mean, you got Diggs, who I'm looking at his stats. He's got over 1,000 yards, but he's only got 4 touchdowns. You don't have a true breakout wide receiver, and I think the thing that is missing for a player like May at this point in his career is that safety valve, reliable receiver, whether it's a tight end, whether it's a slot receiver, whoever
Booty.
it is. Okay, yeah, let's go with Kayshon Boutte, who had 46 targets, 33 receptions, 551 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Like, not exactly a breakout season. Dude's 23, got plenty of time left to develop as a player, but is he really the guy that can get open and is going to hang on to the ball?
What about Double H? Double H, Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry. Let's see here. Hunter Henry, first of all, is 31 years old, which I didn't realize he was that old. Targeted 87 times, brought in 60 catches, 768 yards for 7 touchdowns. So he is the leading touchdown receiver on the Patriots with 7. Not exactly like, again, like, I think the three things.
Uncle Todd bringing the data. I love it.
Well, but here's the thing. Like, I can. This is where I think that the Patriots are in a tough spot because they way exceeded expectations, but they didn't do it in a way. Like, next year, it would not surprise me for this team to be fighting to be 500 because they're going to have a tough schedule, and if they don't address a couple of things on this team, or they have any kind of significant free agent losses, they're going to have a tough time having any kind of repeat of the success. Granted, the thing they have going for them is they play in the same division as the Jets. So you got two games that are eminently winnable.
Mm-hmm.
Miami is in turmoil. Buffalo is good, but I mean, they just fire their coach, and that kind of seems like a bit of a shit show up there. So your division is still like you can come out of that with some decent amount of wins and then piece together the rest of your schedule. But if the biggest thing they need to address is, like, are they going to get Drake May a real wide receiver who is or do they think that Boutte can develop into that guy, or any of these other guys? Like, you got Demario Douglas, you got Mac Hollins. Any of those guys going to shake out to be anything more than, well, Mac Hollins is 32. So I mean, any of these guys going to turn out to be anything more than just okay. Like if you need someone, you don't need to have Jackson. Smith Jiba. I'm slaughtering the name. Sorry.
That's all right.
You don't need to be that guy who has 1,700 yards. But you need someone who's, besides Diggs, who's going to eke out 1,000 yards, but still not going to be a great touchdown threat.
Yeah.
And possibly in jail. That'd be nice. But, you've got to get somebody who's dynamic, who can't be shut out like Diggs was in the Super Bowl. They took him away and it kind of just devolved. So first and foremost, like, are you going to get this guy a receiver? Because even Tom Brady, after winning 3 Super Bowls in his first 5 or 6 years, they let all of his wide receivers go. And lo and behold, they didn't have a great season after that. Go figure. Like, you have to have some degree of talent. That's when they went out and they got Welker and they got Moss, and they didn't win a Super Bowl, but wow, that was a whole lot of fun to watch. At least you got to have someone to catch the damn ball. And right now they kind of don't. So, like, you've got to figure that out. Like, are any of these guys, and possibly, I don't know, it's a friggin' concept that hasn't existed in New England in almost 20 years. Draft a decent to really good wide receiver. That'd be nice, Other teams have done it. Give it a try. The other thing you have to figure out is Will Campbell the guy that you really trust to have at that blindside tackle? I get it. He's hurt. But holy crap, that's a lot of pressures. I saw the stat. He allowed 14 pressures. Like, son of a bitch, that's a lot. And then like 28 some odd in the playoffs. Like, you might have to look at, like, are you going to be able to coach this kid up? Is he going to recover physically? And would he benefit to being moved to, like, guard? Would he turn out to be a really good interior lineman instead of putting him out there on the edge where you expect him to be able to handle, like, the most badass defensive player that the other team has, and be able to handle him one-on-one and not worry about it most of the time? Because if the answer is no, then you need to figure that out now, because if you figure Drake May is your franchise quarterback, it'd be really nice for him to not get his head taken off 4 or 5 times a game when he didn't even see it coming.
Yep. That'd
be really nice. And then, I mean, I think the other thing that you have to figure is, like, running. Are you any of these running back? Rashandre Stevenson seems decent, but again, like, is he ain't nothing compared to Walker in that game. Holy crap.
No, but I also feel like the Patriots, and this is another thing they could have maybe done a little bit more with and explored, is it felt like anytime they ran the corners or the edges on a running play, they got some positive yardage. When they tried to run it up the middle, he got jammed. And I don't know why they didn't continue to try to work the edges where it seemed like Seattle was struggling to get to him. He wasn't breaking away for 10, 15 yards, but he was getting 3 to 5 to 7 yards. So they would have gotten more first downs. They would have advanced the ball. Like, that to me is another lost opportunity that it just seems like they didn't, they started to do some running, and then they just kind of, like, went to Drake and he just couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Because they were smothering the receivers. I mean, all the credit to Seattle. Like, I'm not saying this is the Patriots beat themselves. I mean, Seattle played a strong defensive game. When you saw the shot of the field, when I said there were some options that May could have pulled the trigger on, I mean, they were in good position across the field. Like, they literally took away his options, and so he is, paralyzed, kind of figuring out where to throw the ball and not turn it over. But I noticed when they did some running plays where they work the corners, they just seem to, gain more positive yardage. So just keep pounding them that way, punish them for that. Even if it's, 3 to 5 yard spurts, you do that 4 times, you have a first down, so I don't know. Just my wish for the Patriots is I feel like they had some of the tools. Were they ever going to dominate this game? Hell no. I mean, this was going to be a tough game.
Shot they were going to win anyways. Like just
well,
judging by the,
I hate going into games. I hate going into games thinking that because I feel like you go with the talent that got you there. You know what I mean?
But at some point, you have to admit the talent don't match up.
I think if you played creatively, it could.
Maybe, because I mean, I don't think Sam Darnold is necessarily like a Hall of Fame quarterback. So maybe you figure you have the edge there, but I mean, you look at Seattle's backfield, and you look at their wide receivers. There was a definitive edge there, and I think defensively you can even look and say, like, as good as the Patriots' defense is, Seattle's a little bit better, for sure. I think I don't think that's like speaking out of school or taking a lead.
You say that, but you just said there's the offense. Look at their offensive players, and they have an edge. And yet, look at what the Patriots did for most of the game, minus the touchdown pass.
Well,
right?
but also, like, keep in mind, like, the fact that when Seattle had May in the backfield, they wrapped him up. That was I didn't watch regular season, so I don't know if this is just like everybody decided to have a bad game at the same time. That can happen too. But it's I looked at it like it would have been nice if the Patriots could have pulled it out, but after watching the Denver game, I'm like, I do not think this is a team that's going to win the Super Bowl. I think this is a team that got here, and now it's going to be real rough for them to kind of cash the checks that they're trying to write.
Seattle cheated.
On that note, I need to go pee.
12 seconds later.
Sorry for calling that one quick, but oh my gosh.
No worries.
The back teeth were floating.
Good Lord.
Well. All right, sir. So I think we've pretty much wrung all the juice we're going to wring out of that. Do we need to talk about the post game? Did you even watch the post game?
I didn't watch the post game. I just threw that in there in case we had anything to say. Okay. We were talking with our friends at that point. Turned down the volume. We were chatting for a bit. So nothing in the post game. Don't need to see the bad guys get the trophy. I didn't didn't need to see that. And once again, man, they called it here. Seattle cheated. I'm kidding. Just kidding. But no, I think, it was great to see the Patriots make it. It was just disappointing to see them lose. But as Coach Vrabel said in the presser, we're disappointed, but we're not discouraged. So next year they come back bigger, badder. And I think as much as Uncle Todd is a non-believer, much like he was a non-believer in me winning the fantasy championship a second time back-to-back, making it 8-time champion.
Don't tie a real sport to your participation.
The Patriots
trophy
are going to persevere. They're going to be back, bigger, badder, stronger, accent? And they're going to win.
Were you going for like a JFK sort of accent there?
Yeah, Rob.
It could have been anybody's ass.
It could have.
Well, from my part, congratulations to the Seahawks. And I believe Jody Allen, the first female owner to hoist the Lombardi Trophy, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
I don't know if technically qualifies as owner. She's the head of the trust that oversees the Seahawks, and I guess apparently they're planning to she's planning to sell the Seahawks and donate the proceeds to charity, according to this article in Fortune.
Oh wow!
But hey, I mean that's kind of cool, and yeah. So hey, Katie Sackhoff and Herbo, very happy with this. Going through her Instagram story, it was just like one thing after another. Like, oh god, I don't even watch football that much, and this kind of hurts.
Yeah,
speaking the New England region, good lord. But oh well, hey, it happens. I mean, at the very least, I think the future is bright for the Patriots with Drake May, as long as they completely don't pooch the offensive line and receiver positions. I think I think that there is at least hope of contention and not just sucking like like it has been for a while now.
Agreed.
So we got that going for us, which is nice. All right, sir. So what do you have for, and another thing, a recommendation for our viewers and listeners?
So as I mentioned in our Week in Geek episode, my wife and I had a bit of a movie weekend. So and another thing, prior episode was the movie Mercy that we saw in the theaters, but Saturday evening we at home streamed on Amazon Prime the movie Hamnet, which is an Oscar contender.
Sorry? What is the deal with this one? Because I think I saw a preview for it, and I was kind of confused by what it is.
So it is not complete fiction. It is based. It is somewhat. I guess I would call it historical fiction because it is. Essentially, someone wrote a book, I think about 5 years ago, where they pieced together the kind of origin of the play Hamlet from the fact that Shakespeare and his wife had lost their son Hamnet when he was 11 years old, and that and offered a different, kind of basically a different take on. I mean, I don't know if this was a different take unique to this author or not. I had never heard of this, so this is just my ignorance. But basically that that the play Hamlet was written not so much as a vengeance tale, more than a way of processing the grief of the loss of his son. And so the movie is about the romance, between Shakespeare and his wife, how they get together, the family they build. We get a period of time with their son, and then things play out with his son, and then he and his wife kind of grow apart, and then it kind of culminates with like throughout the movie you don't see any of Shakespeare's I mean, you see a little bit of his creativity in terms of writing, but there isn't a big focus on that. He goes off to London, you just don't see him. And so so the movie's just about that journey for those characters, and without giving everything away, I mean, the end, the tail part, the climax of the movie is really well done, because you view that play, at least I was viewing that play through a very different lens than I had in prior iterations of watching it. And they don't go and do the entire play as part of the movie, but it is a big part of how the movie kind of comes to a head. And so I would highly recommend it. I mean, I thought it was really good. It's an artsy movie. It's something that's not very, it's not a popcorn flick. It's not a pop culture sort of movie, but it's if you're looking for something interesting and looking to watch one of the Oscar contending movies, I would highly recommend Hamnet. It is in theaters and also streaming on Amazon Prime.
Interesting. Well, and you and your wife kind of have a tradition of watching all the Oscar contenders.
We try to. We have had some years we've done better than others. I think this year's not going to be a great one. We've tried to watch a few of them, but I don't think we're going to make our way around to them. We did watch the I can never remember the name of it, from last year, Adrian Brody's movie. Oh, The Brutalist. That was a long movie. Oh boy. I mean, I don't mean long that it was bad, but it was physically, literally long. It was like 3.5 hours. Contest. Yeah, I mean, they literally had an intermission in the middle of the movie to give you 15 minutes to go use the bathroom, because it's just that long. So yeah, last year I think we did pretty good. This year we've watched a couple of them, but not nearly all of them. So yeah, would highly recommend it. What about you, sir? What is yours?
I'm kind of screeching into this sideways here, because it's been a week. So I'm going to go back to an old faithful, and this is one that we actually just finished up a little before we began recording tonight. Parks and Recreation is streaming on Peacock. My wife and I have become a huge fan of this one, and we just finished up our I don't know how many times through this series. It's very much comfort food sort of viewing for us. So we just watched the last episode. And, it's always a bummer when you get to that point, because it's like, oh, because especially if you're kind of churning through these shows, like a couple episodes every night or something, it's funny because the characters kind of become like pseudo members of your family for a little while, and then you're like, oh, now we're not going to see them for a little while because we're not going to just going to circle right back around and be like, all right, season 1. Like, we're not quite that psychotic,
right?
It'll be a few months, but I'm sure we'll start over. But it's just well written, and I appreciate how the characters change throughout, and you can see kind of the ways that they were written, but then also just how their character arcs play out and how those characters change within the story. So that's always a lot of fun. And then, just some of the ridiculousness and the reoccurring jokes, the running jokes that just keep coming back. And the callbacks are great. So, I would recommend Parks and Recreation if you're looking for something that's a good laugh, but also, heartwarming. I would recommend that one, streaming on the Peacock.
Very nice.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is it for Free Range Idiocy Friday. So thank you so much for hanging out with us for, the last hour and a half. We do so appreciate your listenership and viewership. You can find us at freerangeidiocy.com. You can download all of our episodes there. You can subscribe through the Podbean app or find us wherever fine podcasts are purveyed by the likes of Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon, and many, many more. Search for us wherever you get your podcasts. I'm sure that we are there. You can also find us on the YouTubes in full glorious HD video. That would be at youtube.com/@freerangeidiocy. We're also on Instagram and Facebook. Those are both at Free Range Idiocy as well. Let me see what else. Oh, yeah. If you have any thoughts, questions, concerns, or topics that you'd like us to discuss, or even offers of outright bribery, we are not above or below that. You go ahead and send those to tim@freerangeidiocy.com, and he'll get back to you forthwith, if not sooner. That covers it. And then we get to now the time when I turn this show back over to the least idiotic member of this show. It's a very, very close race, but however, I usually win the contest of being the most idiotic. Although if he keeps holding this belt up, he's going to take the title away from me, and I'll just have to finish up the show on my own.
I am in the business of getting titles, so.
But not, mail order. Mail order titles, which I suppose is probably cheaper than mail order brides, so you have that going for you as well. A lot less stigma attached to that. But not before I ask him the second most important question in all of human history. The first, of course, being what is hip. The second being what in the high holy hell did we learn this episode, aside from the fact that you like participation trophies?
We have learned the following, my friend. We have learned the man they call Tim is an 8-time. I won't do it that many times, but I am an 8-time fantasy football champion of the world, and Uncle Todd loves it. Loves it.
Of the other chuckleheads that you have found to play football with, it's not like there's a world ranking. Like
we've also learned
a league amongst millions. Calm down, Spacky.
We have also learned that when Uncle Todd comes out here to Chicago, that the man they call Tim is in for a bit of a whooping. So. Pushed Uncle Todd a little bit too far a few times, so there will be some comeuppance that will be handed out during said trip. We've also learned that the Super Bowl, good game, defensive game. Some folk think it's boring, but I enjoy defensive matchups and the technical part of the game, and so it was fun for me to see what we saw. It was enjoyable. Would have liked to see the Patriots win, but I can appreciate a well-run defense and a defensive performance, the likes of which we apparently saw, where one man gets carried.
You just accused Seattle of cheating.
Well, I was just being funny. I'm giving them their props. Come on now.
Flock like a mofo.
No, not at all. I was merely messing around. Merely messing around. I'm not on their list. You are, sir. But
okay, Johnny Ringo. I was just fooling. I wasn't.
I was just messing about.
Yeah, I wasn't.
We
started a game. Game of blood.
Yes, we did. We've learned that the Shatner has once again made history with his brand ambassador name, Will Shat. So whoever dreamed that one up, chef's kiss on that one. That was phenomenal.
Will Shat for money.
Will Shat. And can we, ladies and gentlemen, can we also recognize it is 2026 and William Shatner is still in the culture conversation somehow. He just worms his way in there, and just continues to be an ever-present presence. Yes, I said that.
Okay.
We've also learned that the man they call Tim has some ideas of how the Patriots could have run their offense a little differently. Mr. Vrabel, if you want to give me a call, I'm more than happy to provide some input.
If he does, please record that. I'm very curious as to what he
all
said.
I need is a copy of Madden to just kind of run some plays and show you what I'm thinking and give you a sense of things, because that's just how I operate. I'll also bring the belt so you can feel what the championship really feels like. Nonetheless,
you'd have
anything
a
else
hard
I
time
missed?
getting in your seat after he shoves that where he shoved it. I don't think Mr. Vrabel is going to deal with your shenanigans quite as gently as I do.
No. I think we also learned we both appreciated and enjoyed the halftime show as well. Mm-hmm. Very, very good. We had some good commercials. But overall, Super Bowl...
Didn't you take some Spanish in high school?
I did. It's been a long time. So when I went to Columbia, there were words I could pick out here or there, but the speed at which they talk, it's just very hard to follow, so I think I need a little bit more practice and kind of re-education before getting back into the fluent nature that I was in back in my senior year at Dover High.
I think you do need to do that.
And when we were watching, Three Stooges movies to, Three Stooges shows in Spanish to,
Seriously?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, that'd be awesome. I would take the Spanish for that.
I
was sitting in Latin.
In Spanish 3, Spanish 3, remember Mr. Grimes?
No.
Grime? I think it was in Spanish. No, I didn't call him Grime. He was great. He was funny. What he would actually do is he would put like a note up on the board, because in Spanish 3 and 4, the teachers only talked Spanish. Like, of course, at points they would say a little bit of English, but the point was it was immersive. So you had to, really follow along and talk, and it was amazing. Like, I was floored by how much I could do in that environment. It was great. But he would do this thing where on the right side of the chalkboard, he would write down the assignments. And he would write a little note at the bottom, as a reminder about something. And sometimes he would sign it. And when he would sign it, he would put a little dash and write El Jefe, which means the boss.
Mm-hmm.
But he was great. But we would watch Three Stooges. They had a couple Three Stooges episodes that were completely in Spanish. And so we'd have to write about them. And when we moved on to Spanish 4 with Mr. Grande, I don't know if you remember Mr. Grande.
I do. I vaguely remember him.
The little guy we called Mr. Big. But he played a few. I think we watched a couple movies as well as read literature. It wasn't all just like movies. It was shows and literature.
In any case, you need to get back on the stick here, sir.
I'm trying to. You once again. I think the gold of the belt blinded you, and you were taking us off a tangent. So. We've also learned that the man they call Tim is going to be on the receiving end of a John Cena belt shot from Uncle Todd when he comes out here. Let me tell you, we will try to video that sucker and post it on the YouTubes. But we thank you for the listenership, and as we close the Super Bowl 60 edition of Free Range Idiocy, we thank you. What's that? Blessedly. We once again remind you all, be safe, be healthy, be kind, be good to one another. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. The range is closed for now. See ya.
I like a Mussolini.
Go Patriots.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking.
I beg your pardon, what did you say?
Damn!
You're such a disappointing pair. I prayed so hard for you.
Why, Johnny Ringo, you look like somebody just walked over your grave.
Fight's not with you, Holiday.
I beg to differ, sir. We started a game we never got to finish. Play for blood, remember?
I was just fooling about.
I wasn't.
Get out. And don't come back until you've redeemed yourselves.
So say we all. So say we all.
It's too late for that.
Go Patriots!
They did. They went.
Seattle cheats. That was Uncle Todd, ladies and gentlemen. That was Uncle Todd.
No, it wasn't. I can admit the Patriots got their asses handed to them. That's the way it goes.
Maybe un pequeño.
Oh, look at you.
See?
Now all of a sudden you remember stuff.
I do. Done. I remember some things. So, yeah. Un pequeño.
You're messing with my Zen thing, man.
That about sums it up.
I can't take much more of this. I just can't.
Well, it is 11:30 and you're watching Perspectives.
Now get the hell out of here!